this live program on some very important. We need to look at the ZANU-PF factional politics, and there are certain state institutions which are at the center. And I'm doing this. This is from Gonzo Muduri, and I agree with him. That is the reason why I'm taking a look onto the issues he mentioned. So he mentioned the army, he mentioned the police, he mentioned the CIO, the finance ministry, the judiciary, the ZBC, and the Herald. These are critical institutions when it comes to the issues of Zimbabwe and the direction to be taken. And we need to critically take a look onto each and every institution and how it is going to assist in whatever way in what is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe, how they're going to contribute. So we have the army, the military is key in terms of deciding who goes where. And if the military is on your side, you're 100% guaranteed. Not 100%, but you're around 90, 95, 96, 97, 90% guaranteed that you'll be the next leader if the military is on your side. So if the military decides that you go, you'll go. And it depends with your connection within the police, within the CIO, and their relationship with also some parts of the military. But let us take a look on what is happening in Zimbabwe right now. We have seen the military. We've seen so many activities. There are army generals who were demoted. There are some senior officers who were fired on the basis of corruption, etc. And Newshawks reported about those issues, and they later on said that they were not privy to continue pursuing such matters because of the intensity and the gravity of such matters. But it's believed that all those people who will be paged or who will be moved out will be people maybe they have anything to do with some sort of issues. So this factional politics is very important, because at this moment in time we have the generals, we have the Mtwangwas, we have the possibility of President Idi going beyond 2028. And which means we have three possible factions within ZANU-PF. Not forgetting Imuyana Jonathan Moyo 4. So the army plays a key role, and whoever controls the military will have an upper hand at the end. Then we have the police. The police plays a key role when it comes to making arrests. Remember, Kuti, when you are fighting factional politics, there is a moment when you need to put some people behind bars, not to put them forever, but to stop them from planning on daily basis, which means the police chips in to deal with such an issue. And when it comes to some issues where you also need some protection, police can chip in. If you take a look on what is happening, I think it's South Sudan or South Sudan, there is the paramilitary and the military fighting. And those in the paramilitary, those are people with the same training with the police, but they are clashing there in Sudan, which means the police is of importance in the factional politics of ZANU-PF. We have seen how the former chief of police, Ogansen Churi, was accused of working together with the Mugabe regime to deny the other faction a chance in Zimbabwe. Then the CIO plays a critical role in terms of intelligence. Although there's military intelligence, there's also CIO intelligence. This is the state intelligence. They are more connected than the military intelligence, and this is more embedded in the people more than the military intelligence. But police police intelligence also, which means they will have critical information at the same time, which means all these three departments, the army, the police, and the CIO, they have some sort of intelligence, but the CIO will take will have more intelligence than any other. And it's very important to note that in 2017, the CIO failed to pick some key intelligence on what was happening in the nation of Zimbabwe, and Robert Mugabe was ousted. Then there's a very important element of the finance ministry. A lot of people are asking, why is it Kwakaiswa Mwana as a deputy minister? It's because finances move. Chakata kuti vamugabe vabviswe is because Patrick Chinamasa was now financing some activities, extraordinary activities, dzaiitika. And that is the key role of the finance ministry. And this time around, they've blocked that by simply saying hakuna chichaitwa neteam refinance nomthuli without the sun, which means every meeting, everything, the sun must know kuti ndezvipi zviri kuitika, mari dzabhadharwa all these things. You'll be there as a watchman. This is strategic. Then we have the judiciary. The judiciary, we have Malaba in charge, and Malaba is unconstitutionally there because his term expired. And when an amendment was done, it was done for him to benefit, of which was not supposed to be the first beneficiary, which is illegal. And it was ruled by the High Court to say this was illegal. And he had to come to preside over an appeal, Yangaita, over all those issues. He presided over a matter he had interest in, and that makes the judgment they reached invalid. Then there is a critical element in the information. ZBC is at the center of everything. Take a look on what is happening at ZBC. First and foremost, we have a board which was dismissed. And after the dismissal, we have the CEO who was being fought left, right, and center. She was suspended and she resigned. So these are two critical elements, the CEO and the board. These are critical elements when it comes to the information which goes out to the public through radio and television. The CEO must be controlled by a certain faction, the board must be controlled by a certain faction. Then flow seamlessly from one point to another. And it's a very critical so at this moment in time, critical changes happened within the ZBC board and the ZBC leadership, which makes it difficult for any other faction to make use of the ZBC effectively. Then we have the Herald. The Herald is a very ngangoti Zim papers yese. At this moment in time, pane nyaya dziri kuitika kuzim papers dzekuti ma-editors, they've been swabbed. We now have new editors for Herald and new political editors who are so powerful. And the political editors vanenge power, the same power with the editor. And the deputy editor political has reporter kuna editor is reporting to the overall boss wema editor, which makes it very difficult to control him. The editor will not have influence. And this is what is being contemplated here by, I've seen an article from what do you call it, from Newsworks, and it's clear about that issue. There is this issue about this new editor who is coming, Victoria Rojizo, will be the first female editor of the Herald, and Darlington Msarurwa, he will be replacing Sunday Mail as Sunday Mail editor. And Doreen Sibanda is now new board chair. So you see that everything is new. Everything is new, which means a lot it will be happening there in terms of communication. Then the chain of command, right here, we have the group political editor anenge ari iye Love Moranga Mataire. So it means you have a wide overall control at operational level, anenge an equal position to the editor, and you'll be reporting to the editorial executive William Chikoto. So this is politically strategic. It's politically strategic. What it means is another faction is doomed because vanenge vasara vasina control of the most critical parts then vanyura, which means kana kuri in terms of information, another faction inenge yarohwa kuma editors, they will need to utilize social media more than ever, which means they will need to be active on social media. But if you take a look at Team Varakashi for EDs, they are so good in terms of kurakasha on social media. They are doing great because take a look at Nagata Sana Derek Goto, they write my articles, they post up WhatsApp groups each and every day. They seem to be in charge. These are pro-Mnangagwa people, which means that faction is going to have a backup on both fronts. Kuma state newspapers and everything else, radio, then social media, they will have a strong backup again, Varakashi, and that will be critical. It depends with other faction, kuti inenge ichideploya vanhu vane mind dzakaita sei ku-media space so as to run a certain narrative. It depends with how they are willing to invest more in those areas. Then don't forget kuti during the Mugabe era, Mugabe had control over ZBC, had control over Herald or Zim papers, but ndopakapinda vana S. Lumumba, Nana Kuda working together, running some shows dzaimhanyirwa nemunhu wese each and every day because they were breaking some pieces of news dzainakidza. And that was the part which was played critically using social media. So that is the reason why you saw when people were commanded into the streets, it was easy to command them. Kwakwagadzirwa vana Ivan, kwakwagadzirwa a lot of groupings dzadzagadzirwa which were ready, which had mobilized the people enough. We have not seen that happening at this moment in time in Zimbabwe. That is not that part is not available of my activists akadaro, which means it will be very, very difficult for this team to actually mobilize. Will they be effectively on social media? I doubt. And a lot of people on social media, they are pro-Nelson Chamisa, which means it will be difficult for them to convince these people to cross over, because allegiance is very important, and you don't just wake up mangwana watu to pledge allegiance also. So it won't happen. That is when we will say maybe they will need Nelson Chamisa somewhere for them to win. So that Nelson Chamisa, it will be difficult for those without the control of the national state papers and the national radio to do anything. Because remember, in Beto 2028 irikurwiwa panapa kuti achatora from Emerson Mnangagwa Ndiani, which means they will have to fight and fight and fight. Anenge awina will be the candidate with ZANU PF 2028 elections. Then I think I've explained the very critical issues and the very important issues. Then military anenge leverage over the generals, anenge favor nema generals, then that person is going to have an upper end. So at this moment in time, I don't believe kuti it's a matter yekuti you convince the generals. It's a matter of their own interests. What are their own interests? Iwo kwavari, and they have to pursue their own interests. So what is happening is the sacking or the removal of some top elements there. I don't think they will have any impact when it comes to planning, because no matter how you remove these people, it depends with how connected they are. You might even remove vanhu vanga vagara vasiri kutodiwa in the game plan, and somehow information is leaked kuti ningane ngari kudai deliberately so as to remove those people. And if you are not clever enough, you remove those people. After removing those people, wobva wachinyatsovasira cream yevanhu vanongoziva kuti these are no longer compromised, iri team raakunyatsoshanda zvatiri kuda, which means it will be something else. It's hard kuti unobvisa munhu woisa mumwe munhu wosiri kuziva kuti munhu iyeye allegiance dzake dziri kupi, and iye aim yake yakambomira sei, and vanhu vari kudhila navo vanhu vakaita sei. So all those issues are at stake if you are to look to the military. The CIO, I don't believe that the CIO will have much to play when it comes to the issues of succession, except kungopa intelligence kuti kune zvakadai zviri kuitika, but the military will not rely on the intelligence from the CIO. I doubt they will not rely much on the intelligence from the CIO. They have their own intelligence departments, and they will rely more on those intelligence departments. The same happens to the police in a critical element yekuti they are more connected to the people than other people, in terms of knowing each and every person, especially those in criminal activities, in politics, vanenge vachiziva futi well detailed and they will have information at their palms. So this is what is happening in Zimbabwe, and I've highlighted very critical institutions, state institutions, which are going to be of importance when it comes to decision making in whatever which is happening at this moment in time in the politics of ZANU-PF, factional politics of ZANU-PF. So as a matter of time, you start to see everything falling into place, and these are the institutions which are in the center of everything, and it depends with who is more connected than the other, who is more financially able than the other. So ameno kana vamwe vava vasina kugara vakaunganidza mari dzavo dzekuita zvavo, it means they will be out of the picture, because the other faction has managed to control the finances already. They're in charge of the finances already, and there is no way out. Even if you are to agree with him, then Mari which means they will have to have other methods, and those methods it will be difficult for to write pursue, because other departments control another faction, which means it will be very impossible and difficult for any other person to win this factional battle. This is a succession battle which is at stake at this moment in time, and also waiting for the critical moment and for his own time to take over. So this is what is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe, and I just made a decision to come so that we talk about what is happening. So in conclusion, key issues, let us talk. We talked about the changes at ZBC, the changes at Herald, the Judiciary, the changes at Ministry of Finance, and these are very critical. And then the changes which are happening in the military, one way or the other. Those are very critical. It means a lot of shaking. That shaking, to a certain extent, my decisions are upside down. But will these people be able to be part of any plans? I do not know. So we'll wait and see who is going to win this succession battle.